against them. Communication-wise, you don't use those same people to communicate to these Ghanaians because they'll play those voices against what they are doing now. But the man who has enjoyed this goodwill is him. So if he were to come out to say that before it is even sent to Parliament that there has come a time where we need to appeal to you to give us 1 Ghana cedi of what we have reduced and work at it. I think we would have said, oh, yeah, fine, even though it will be difficult. Once he says it's difficult, why not? But to go and pass it at 12 midnight and then the spin doctors went to town with it. I agree.
I think the president enjoys a lot of good work.
Yes.
Because according to his social contract, he's done quite a bit of what he said.
Exactly.
And he's done more than most people before him.
Yes.
What a certain government couldn't do in 8 years, he's done in like 4 months. So he's proving that he is a man of his word. And so, I think maybe if he had said it,
before we go to Parliament. Otherwise,
but even Mr. Jinapor, the Minister of Energy, before he came into power, he was always on this ESLA case. He said this ESLA is not being used for ESLA is energy sector levy.
Yes.
He said it wasn't being used for what it's meant for, and we were accumulating debt in the power sector. He kept saying it. So I think he being one of the messengers for this particular gospel is not that bad for me.
Still, it's the politics within. They have their own banters, and as I said, people spin it because they know they are colleagues and all of that. We could do politics.
One of the things that I must say I'm not very excited about is the fact that the opposition is trying to, I don't know,
but they are doing their job. They say they are doing their job.
That's not their job. Their job is not to always try to water down everything. It's getting a bit, it's like you are making so much noise. What is it? When we were in power, fuel was at a certain price. This government has come. And you see, Papa will always say, vote for Ghana. Always focus on the nation and the betterment of the nation. Don't be playing politics with everything. There are things you can genuinely attack and we'll all agree that no, this thing is wrong, it must go. But you don't just attack anything and everything just because it is the government in power that is doing it. You, when you were in power, fuel prices were going up, utility was going up, water was going up, food was going up. And now these people have come, they've stabilized the cedi. Fuel prices have dropped. We were buying it for, I think, 15 or 16 per litre. Now you're buying it at 12. Were you able to do it? And now they say they want to subsidize or they want to take a part of the profits that they are making, add it to us as levy so that they can use it to offset the debts that you left. And you are still talking.
But also it has to do with the promises you also made not to. So the point.
That's not. No, I know what you're about to say.
No,
they said they were not going to. They were going to remove taxes.
Yes.
What President Mahama said, I remember in his campaign, he said
not to levy. To remove.
He said he was going to use the ESLA for what it's supposed to be used for, which is to offset the debt of the power sector. That's what he said. You can check the manifesto. He said he was going to use the ESLA, he was going to use the energy sector levy to offset the debt of the energy sector with respect to power. And that was one of their main issues. He did say they were going to use the taxes to offset the debt. What's the difference in what he's doing now with respect to what he said? What he didn't say, which they might add, or they might say, is that he didn't say he was going to increase it.
That's right.
But what do you expect him to do? And now they're saying, okay, E-Levy was bringing in 2.1 billion cedis, and then you're taking it off, you're bringing this one, the projected amount is 5.4 or 5.7, and over 5 billion cedis, and it's more than double of the E-Levy. If you were using the E-Levy well, we will be where we are. The E-Levy that you took for how many years? What exactly did you use it for? The COVID levies you took, what exactly? It's not about the fact that you took E-Levy. We are not bothered by E-Levy. We were here, we were paying E-Levy, we didn't die. I mean, Koku has enough money to sponsor all of us for lunch and dinner. He has money. Koku there. Oh, come on now. Koku, don't do that. You have money. It's not that the E-Levy was a problem for us. Koku's E-Levy is like my school fees for one transaction. But we were paying. If we were able to see with our eyes that, the E-Levy is being used for road, it's being used for this or that.
That goes with the earlier points you were making that, I mean...
It's not about the taxation. Use it. Agenda 111. How many hospitals did they complete? One district, one factory. How many? And we can't really pin them to E-Levy, but there were a lot of taxes. Taxes we had not heard about before.
Right.
Energy emission tax. Some of the taxes, when you hear, you laugh. I don't know, mosquito quota, everything was...
There was no mosquito quota. There wasn't.
But I mean, some of the taxes were very weird. Very, very weird taxes. And we still didn't see anything.
Anyways,
so let's focus on Ghana and let's try to, tackle. The problem here is we are owing to keep the power on, which is, again, critical for the 24-hour economy.
That's true.
We need to pay our debt.
Yeah.
If we're going to service our debt, we need to generate funds.
Yeah.
If we don't have funds, we can't move. How do we generate the funds? We tax a little, 1 cedi per liter. Not too bad.
Right.
Again, we have enjoyed some reductions in fuel, CD stabilized. It will not impact us so much. Yeah. Let's make hay while the sun shines. Glory to God.
Absolutely. And so away from that, let's go abroad, somewhere where Ghanaian students abroad have called off their planned demonstration, citing pressure from embassies. You'll recall that we shared some stories with you, that there were some students abroad who had bemoaned government's, inability to pay their stipends and all of that. But here we are. The Coalition of Ghana Scholars Abroad has suspended its planned demonstration over unpaid stipends and book allowances, citing external pressures and interference from certain diplomatic missions. Ghanaian students studying in Hungary and Morocco have long expressed frustration over the non-payment of their allowances, which have been delayed for 11 months, covering parts of 2 academic years. Attempts to engage the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat have so far yielded no results. In a statement released on Wednesday, June 4th, the coalition said their decision follows a series of pressures and undue influence from foreign missions, which they claim have tried to link continued support to expectations of silence on the matter. While grateful for their assistance, the student disclosed that the interference has undermined their ability to act freely. And so that's that. At the back of my mind, I have a solution for this, but I'm waiting for an appointment to be able to do something.
You see what Bishop has been talking about?
No, but I
instead
cannot,
of you to be a nation builder.
No, but I cannot. Even if I send it to them, they will not do it. I've shared it with some people. They have not even.
Maybe they are not the people who can take action.
So until I get
can even share it with Papa, probably, because Papa has the ears of some of these.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yes, because we need these solutions. See, I've studied in a different region before, not a different country, different region.
Okay.
Kumasi. There's Kumasi here.
Right.
When you go to...
Now, very soon your PhD is going to be outside the country.
Okay. Amen. I receive it.
You go ahead.
So you see, when I go to Kumasi,
right,
I don't know anybody there.
Okay.
All the people I know there,
but that's where you come from, or
Kumasi,
not Kumasi, no, Ashanti region.
Yes, my mom is partly Ashanti.
Okay, cool.
So when I don't have anywhere to go, or I can just imagine a scenario where I'm stranded. I don't have food. I don't have a place to sleep. Me not knowing anyone there is a big problem. It means if I don't have money, I can't do anything.
Right.
But at least I can speak Chi. I speak Chi very well.
Okay.
Not like you.
Now the people started, once you said you speak Chi very well, they started laughing because they know it's coming with the bullets. The shade was coming.
I speak Chi very, very well.
I speak very, very well.
But in Kumasi, to be of no use to you.
In Voltage,
I can do sign language. Just find a way. Or, but when I speak to somebody in Chi and I explain my situation to them and I say, this is what I'm going through. Can you please help? They can find 1 or 2 ways and means to help me to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
But in someone else's country, you don't speak their language, you don't share their culture, and you are there for a very specific purpose, which is to study. And again, you've been assured by the scholarship secretariat that when you go, you'll be given this amount of stipend. You've used it for your calculation in your budget. And the people who are your family members here, who sometimes these people come from not so well-to-do backgrounds, but they are very smart.
Right.
That's why they even go on scholarship.
Some of them. Because we've also seen a lot of privileged students and children.
That's not what it's supposed to be.
Also on the scholarship scheme.
That's not what it's supposed to be at all. if you are privileged or not, the reason for scholarship is we are trying to push your academic journey forward because you can't really afford it if it's left to you. If you can afford it, you can do it by yourself. A scholarship means you are given a free pass because you can afford one or two things, or we just want to offset some of the bills that you have. So if these people are there without any kind of help or any kind of cry or any kind of support, I can only imagine how distressing it must be. Even in my own country, I find it distressing how much more another person's country. Again, in 2024, 2023, a story broke which was about some scandal at the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. I don't know what became of that issue.
Okay.
That people were taking monies that they were not supposed to take. And some were channeling monies that were supposed to be used for scholarships into other things. I don't know what became of it. I've forgotten the details, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But we have to make sure that these students that we have sent abroad to study are well taken care of. We need to take care of our own. You have something?
Yeah, so I was trying to get the current CEO of the Scholarship Secretariat. He's been on some of the media houses. There is a big challenge with this. So as much as we're talking about how stranded these students can be, comes also the issue of when they finish. A lot of these people go on to if you like, call it, they use a scholarship, get onto these countries, get into these countries. When they finish, they go on to the other visas where they are inching close to permanent stay. When they get that, they bring their families now, their wives and children to come and be with them, and they stay there. The idea is lost in there because the idea is that we are paying you to study outside the country.
Come and help us.
Come back and help us. And understandably so is the case that when now there are some stipends that some of them have started working. They've now gotten some permanent stay. They brought their families, yet they are chasing their stipends when they were schooling that have not been paid.
Okay.
So the moral rights and what is lawful. You were not paid stipends when you were schooling. It's accrued. Now you have refused to come back home, yet you still want our stipends.
Backdated stipends.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think what we need to do, one of the things that I find very interesting, especially in some of the politics that we do, is like what I was talking about early on. The opposition now, they were in power just less than a year ago, about 6 months or 7 months ago, they were in power. And they had the rights to do a lot of things that they didn't do. This new government came and is doing it. And now they are shouting and saying, Ghanaians are suffering. There's this, is it Honorable Amoa, the former deputy finance minister?
Yes.
I don't know.
Sticker.
Oh, goodness. I don't like hearing his voice at all.
Why?
Because he shouts a lot. But very recently, he was in Parliament screaming about how Ghanaians have regretted voting for this government and how Ghanaians are suffering and Ghanaians are under pressure. I was like,
maybe don't pay attention to the politics of it. That's them having their go in
My point
Parliament.
is this. Even if it is true that this government is doing something wrong, does it mean you too must do something wrong? How do two wrongs end up being right? So we, as a government, promised to pay these people some monies. We weren't able to honor our promises for 11 months. That's a long time. So we need to enter into some kind of, because it was a contract, we need to enter into some kind of a negotiation with them. Well, if some of these people have jobs and have done some stuff contrary to what their contract said, we can get into all of those things. But let's honor our obligation.
Not specifically to this one, though. It's a different issue on the side.
And I share that sentiment a lot because people go to school abroad on government money, on government scholarship, and they don't come back. Because they find that conditions of living over there are
in any case, that is why most of them even go in the first
place. Because they want to go and stay there.
That's it.
Our vetting maybe has to change. The way we vet people has to change. And we need to also, it's not their fault entirely. It's not just a matter of the country, it's also a matter of their life.
Would it be too draconian to say that attached to your scholarship is the clause that the state has to know that this guy, after the course or program, must come back?
Okay,
and
so
once he or she files for permanent stay
it should be
or
rejected.
student visa, it should be rejected. Would it be that draconian?
There should be a penalty,
Right.
At the very least.
Okay.
You know, in the medical system, the Ghanaian medical system, when you are out of medical school,
Yes.
you are a house officer.
Yes.
Then you're a house officer for 2 years.
Yes.
Then after being a house officer, you become a medical officer.
That's right.
When you become a medical officer, you can choose to go and pursue your residency, either with the West African College or the Ghana College or both.
Yeah.
When, let's say, maybe you are a doctor at Kumasi or Cape Coast. Let me use Cape Coast because Cape Coast doesn't have any residency programs. So Cape Coast, they don't do residency programs there. They do it at Accra or Kumasi, Kolebu or Konfanochi. Before you leave Interbetin or whichever hospital you are to come to Accra to come and pursue your residency, you are given an undertaking which says, we are going to still pay you. It's a sabbatical. You are coming to study. But we will still authorize your payments from Ghana Health Service or Ministry of wherever you take your salary. We'll still authorize it for you to get your money. Under the condition that after you are done with your residency, you will come back and come and use that knowledge to help us.
That's right.
Because we are sort of letting you go. We are sponsoring you, quote unquote. I think a similar arrangement can be made for the Ghana scholarship scene, where you are giving, and I'm sure there's such a thing. But the penalty is that in the medical system, the penalty is that if you don't come back, you pay a certain ridiculous amount of money, or you'll be sanctioned in a very wild way. That is what should happen.
I see.
So maybe we should enter into agreements with the embassies, because the embassies are the ones that grant the student visas for these people.
That's it.
So let's enter into agreements with these embassies so that they put these people in a special category in their countries.
That's right.
To disallow them to take on jobs, roles, and certain
Marriages
responsibilities
that ties them.
That tie them down.
Absolutely.
There. When you are applying for a visa, they see the probability of you overstaying there.
That's right.
And one of the main factors they consider is dependence. If you have a lot of dependents here, they know there's less probability you would run away. So they will give you. If you don't have any dependents here, you are a flight risk. So they might not give you, Right. So we can use the same approach in this particular instance and make sure that the people who are giving these scholarships, not only on the basis of their smartness or their academic prowess, but we get into whether or not they would return. Make them sign these undertakings and make sure that they come back in conjunction with the embassies that are giving them the visas. But this issue of not paying them the allowances, I think we should. It's very painful to be in another. Morocco, hey, I mean, Hungary. Do you speak Hungarian? Morocco, what do they say? I think French, right?
Yeah.
Let's do our best.
I see.
Let's do our best.
The Volta Regional Police Command has intercepted a large sum of Ghanaian currency concealed in a fertilizer bags aboard a commercial vehicle at the Japon Snap checkpoint. In a statement signed by DSP Felix Danko of the Public Affairs Unit of the Volta Regional Police Command, the operation took place on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, at approximately 4:45 p.m. Acting on intelligence, officers stopped a Ford Transit bus traveling to Kumasi in the Ashanti region. A thorough inspection of the vehicle revealed 68 fertilizer bags filled with one CD notes and coins totaling 1.7 million. Following the discovery, the driver of the vehicle, identified Edward Ansah, informed the police during interrogation that he had been contracted by an unknown individual in Kumasi to transport the money from Ho to in the Volta region. He has since been taken into custody and is assisting ongoing.
1 million Ghana cedis.
One CD notes, totaling 1 million Ghana.
One CD notes and coins.
Yes.
That's something is not right. 1 CD notes and coins, totaling 1 million.
Yes.
That's it smacks of.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some way.
Mysterious. Yes,
it's mysterious in nature.
Nah, this is not right.
It's mysterious in nature.
This is not right. And this is how people actually are able to launder money.
Yes.
No, this I can't say much on this.
Right. Okay.
But I think Iyoko and the Financial Intelligence Center.
Okay.
They must look into this one.
Okay.
And whoever the man is, he knows he'll be caught. He should just own up now to save us. If we use state resources to track you and we find you, it won't be easy for you.
Right.
Just come and present yourself. Let's have a discussion. Where did you get these monies from?
Yeah.
Are they authentic though? Are they?
So that we have not been told.
Exactly.
So
if these are fake news, then he's in much deeper trouble. We shouldn't be doing this at this point and at this time. If you were sloppy enough to be caught, then you have to face the music. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, so that's that. That's that.
In fertilizer, you know, Coco, whenever these big trailers are packing like cocoa, clothes, whatever it is that they pack in those containers. Sometimes these things are hidden in the very innermost part of the trailer, the container.
Okay.
And then on the edges, there's a way they sample when the police make stops and checks on the road. There's a way they sample the thing that sometimes is not able to capture whatever illicit goods may be hidden in there. I don't know. We might have to develop a better technology to do what they do there, to be able to scan everything to be sure that it's uniform in content. Because if you are carrying cocoa beans, we are expecting that all the bags in there is cocoa beans. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's right.
Sometimes the cannabis is hidden in there, other things, clothes or, money, weapons, something is hidden in there. There is no real way to be able to check 1,000 bags, 500 bags, 200 bags. This one was easy because if you look at the van, I mean, it was a van, it wasn't really a trailer.
Right.
You can easily tell. But if it was something more sophisticated, like maybe maize, millet, charcoal, cocoa beans, stuff that are carried in huge sacks, and these monies were hidden in there, would have been much more difficult to detect.
I see.
So I think that on a road, we should equip our police better to be able to detect some of these things, even with the little sampling methods that they have.
Absolutely. Thomas Andy, also an aide to the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Boisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wuntu, has been convicted of corruption by the High Court on Wednesday, June 4th, in connection with the Republic versus Charles Bissiou case. Mr. Osu, the second accused in the matter, was convicted on his plea after entering into a plea bargain with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. He was charged with bribery stemming from the Galamsey Fraud Part 1 expose by investigative outfit Tiger IPI. The expose, released in 2019, implicated Owusu and then presidential staffer Charles Bissiou in a scheme to circumvent mining licenses procedures in exchange for bribes. According to prosecutors, Mr. Owusu paid 15,000 Ghana cedis to Mr. Bissiou to facilitate the unlawful issuance of mining permits. So the High Court accepted the plea deal and sentenced Mr. Owusu to pay 500 penalty units amounting to some 6,000 and ordered him to pay 200,000 in restitution to the state. What is your thoughts on the issue of plea bargains replacing, if you like, so more like custodial sentencing? That's more like, it could be a form of it. Not technically though, but I'm saying that a lot of people have also come out to say that it's better to get our money than to get these guys to go languish in jail. Exactly. Sometimes even are fed better than they would have been. And after that, some period, some president comes and says, give you a pardon.
Well, I agree. I think that the law has a position on every crime you can think about. If it doesn't, it will have. And the position of the law on issues that have to do with plea bargains is that we listen to you. There are three ways of ending. Okay, let me not even go that far. But there are three ways of ending cases, especially in summary trials. Okay. When you say you are guilty, when you plead guilty, you can plead guilty simpliciter with an explanation, whatever it is. You can, once you plead guilty, you've ended the trial. There's no need for us to proceed. Yes. We now discuss how much guilt do you want to admit. What is your evidence? Because sometimes people admit guilt and they are actually innocent. They are trying to protect someone else. They're taking a fall. Right. So once we trash all that, then the law will take into account your involvement, how much damage you cause, and how much restitution you have to pay. And then once that is calculated, we are fed the information, and then that's it. I think that's what has happened in this man's case.
Okay.
He pled guilty. We have Dr. Piakubi's in.
Yes. You know that. You know that.
So, okay. All right. The man has pled guilty.
Right.
The court has found his argument, salient to an extent, and he has been given this amount of fine. He's paid the fine.
Right. I
think we are good to go.
Okay.
If all the people that stole our monies, we ask them to pay and they are able to pay, I think we are good to go.
I see.
I want to be a bit emotional and say it's not enough.
Okay.
Maybe he should taste jail a little bit.
Yeah.
See where power lies for wasting our time and so on. But I don't think it's necessary. What we need is the money. He's brought it.
Okay.
We are good.
That's it. I see. Just as announced by Pastor Badi, Dr. Piakubi, Dr. Justice Piakubi is in the building. I don't want to ask how much that is, because the way the glitters are glittering.
But now all glitters are gold.
I like that side of it. But it's good to see you. Finally, you are here.
Thank you.
So what exactly happened? The car got...
No, it wasn't my car. It was a car. Yeah, I think so.
Right.
It was just crazy, yes.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Crazy traffic.
Forgive. Anyways, I don't know. We've touched on quite a number of issues. I don't know what your...
Maybe I'll just pick up from...
okay, from where?
What Pastor Badi was talking about with regards to intimate aid, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was good that I didn't know that if my face is not painted, I don't look handsome at all. So well, for me, it's good that we've gotten the money.
Right.
Sophie was saying that, he doesn't want to be emotional to add the punishment to it. But I'm really praying that he'll be emotional because he should, so that it's set as a deterrent to others that, so if it's just only the money, sometimes they've made so much profit out of it anyway.
Exactly.
So paying the thing is not big. In fact, sometimes if you put them in prison, they know how long, maybe 5 years, 4 years, the money that I come back to enjoy. There's, one American lady, her husband or boyfriend was in prison because of certain fraud.
Right. He
gave the money to the woman. The woman had made millions out of the money. So when the guy came, the guy is now a millionaire. Yeah, you know the story.
Yeah, I do. That's some rapper guy.
Yeah, so some of these people, we really need to punish them. So that's how I would say.
So, I mean,
well,
I think if we've given him the punishment, which is the fine, the fine is
6,000. Is it 6,000?
6,000 Ghana cedis.
No, it amounts to 6,000 cedis.
Yes, because according to the courts, the damage is caused amounts to the 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not.
I mean,
so the damage he has caused now water bodies is 6,000 Ghana cedis, less than iMac. Just a guy said to put on your head to listen to Spotify.
Considering the facts of the matter, and he, I hear, facilitated the process. He wasn't the main player. He facilitated.
So that next time when you are facilitating,
Mr. Bisu is the main guy. He is the one we are waiting for.
Yeah.
As for Mr. Bisu, he was a presidential staffer. He had a lot of weight, and he fast-tracked a lot of licenses unduly, allegedly. So we are waiting. If his own comes to 6,000 Ghana cedis, then we have a problem. Okay. This man, we don't really know him, except that he's associated to Wuntumi and Chairman, Mr. Bisu.
Let's see how it goes.
The National Labour Commission has declared the ongoing industrial action by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association illegal following the association's failure to comply with procedural requirements under the Labour Act. The ongoing strike by nurses in public hospitals across Ghana continues to severely impact healthcare delivery, leaving patients stranded and medical services disrupted. In many health facilities, nurses have abandoned posts, leaving patients stranded. The Ministry of Health has responded by issuing a series of emergency directives aimed at maintaining essential healthcare services, while the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association proceeds with its industrial action. According to the press release by the National Labour Commission, it received a notice of industrial action from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association on May 29, 2025, acting swiftly under Section 162 of Labour Act 2003 Act 651 and Regulation 20 of LI 1833 Labor Regulation 2007, the Commission summoned the association to appear before it on June 4, 2025. The nurses and midwives were also directed to halt all planned actions, including wearing red bands and withdrawal of services pending the Commission's interventions.
Yeah, first, I kind of disagree that what they are doing is illegal. I really don't think so. Even though what my struggle is that how long this government has been in power. And they've been talking with all these stakeholders, not just only them. There are other stakeholders who have been also disheartened by the previous government and promises that they're supposed to, the promise that they're supposed to be fulfilled, but it wasn't. And so I understand their frustration, but please give this government some breathing space.
To settle. I mean, 5 months.
And besides that, Koku, it's not just that they've been talking to them. They've been talking. Oh, Charlie, we just came. Give us some time. But it looks like because Ghana, we are being wired now because of the politicians' attitude.
Yeah.
The only that they hear is choboye, choboye.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need to give people some benefit of the doubt because I really think this government so far so good. So he's talking with you. Just slow down small. Let them settle. Recently, there were another group that after they talked with them, they came on radio. People start bashing them. Actually, they back out small because they realize that the government is not the one who brought you to that problem. It's a previous government. Government is continuum. Yes, we understand. But I just came. How many months? I think it's 4 months now, if I'm not mistaken. Just give them some time.
It's less than, you see, according to the article, the National Labour Commission got wind of their intended, first of all, their grievances. And they said, okay, they served them on May 29. And they said, okay, come for a meeting on June 4th, yesterday. Let's talk about, whatever it is they are asking for. And all the other invited stakeholders, Fair Wages Commission, Ministry of Health, all of them are supposed to come along so that we can have a fruitful discourse. They didn't come. Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, they did not come for the meeting. Went ahead with their... If this report is true, then it is truly illegal. You don't go ahead with a strike action without having exhausted all kinds of...
Yes. I didn't even go there.
Yes. So if they invited you for a meeting, all the other stakeholders came, they appeared, they contributed. You, that the thing is affecting, you didn't come. Because you just want to paint the streets red and make it clear that you won't take nonsense. What nonsense? What have we done? And innocent people are the ones going to die. Innocent people are the ones going... Yesterday, I was very upset because why do we keep using human lives as collateral and bargaining chips for things? Why? And you need to be... Look, one of my main annoyances of the family system right now is the fact that we are raising a generation that is not aware of responsibility, only aware of privileges. So you see men and young women, me, I don't want a man who is doing this. Me, I don't want a woman who is doing that. Me, I don't. What is your own role in this thing? What do you do in this thing? And so every time we have a whole list of demands, what somebody must do for us and we don't care who has to suffer. People now will leave marriages with children who are 2 years, 3. They don't... Look, yesterday I said it again. It's when we grew up that we got to know that some of our parents stayed in marriages just because of us.
Of course.
Just because they want the children to grow well. It's a sacrifice you have to make. When you are put in a certain position, you must understand that, yes, you may have some privileges due you, but there are also sacrifices that come with it. Responsibility. You can't be a doctor or a nurse and your mind is strike. Small time. When Akando went to speak at the Tamale hospital and they said, why did you talk to the doctor like that? We are going on strike. Why? What is it? And when people are sick in this country, they fly out. They go out of the country because you never hear of any of these things outside there. Don't they have grievances? Don't you think they are not people? And when you say you have grievances, come and let's sit and let's talk. You won't show up. Because you want to paint the picture that we are tired of negotiations. Okay, if you won't talk, what will you do? What will you do? How will we get forward? How will we move? If this report is true, they should wake up. The next registered nurse, they should wake up where they are and go for the meeting and remove those red bands. Then it's absolutely illegal. If this is true, then it is absolutely illegal. They should return to their posts, stop wearing those red bandanas and whatnot, and they should go and work. You are wearing red, whatever, you withdraw OPD service and then withdraw emergency services too. As if it's a joke to you. Mm-hmm. Emergency services is a joke to you. You want people to pay with their lives so that you can drive home your point. Let me add this one. It's not related to this. There are people who will sacrifice relationship to win arguments, to make points.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There are people who have sacrificed the peace of countries just so that they can be right.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You could have just waited another 4 years. Let's have another election. You know, this is one of the reasons I respect Professor Tamils, the election petition and all of those things. Said, so, let's President Akufo-Addo instead, I should say.
Yeah.
It was President Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
He made 4 years sound like 4 days. Mm-hmm. When they went to court and the court says, no, you have lost. He said, okay, no problem. Let's just wait. Another time will come. 4 years is just around the corner. And 4 years came and you won. You see that now. And we just need to have a sense of sacrifice and responsibility in the places where we've been put.
Let's go to another story that does not really smack of sense of responsibility, actually. The Accra Regional Police Command has arrested Mavis Nkrumah, a 30-year-old woman, for allegedly pouring a liquid substance suspected to be acid on her ex-boyfriend Gideon Frimpong at Ablekuma Farm Milk, a suburb of Accra. According to a police statement, preliminary investigations suggest that on the night of attack, 28th May 2025, Mavis appeared unannounced at the victim's residence at approximately 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. The victim, 29-year-old taxi driver Gideon Frimpong, engaged her in a brief conversation during which she asked him to drive her home. Gideon agreed to take her. On reaching a section of the road, Gideon requested Mavis to alight since the road ahead was bumpy and rough and his vehicle could not drive there. It was during this stop at Ofanko 7-day stretch that Mavis reportedly questioned him about their relationship. After the third confirmation of their breakup, she poured the substance suspected to be acid.
That was the third time they were breaking up.
Confirmation.
The victim was identified by a group of people and rushed to the hospital where he was treated for injuries sustained. He has since been discharged. Meanwhile, the suspect who fled the scene after the incident to a neighboring country was arrested yesterday, June 3rd, by the police and is currently in custody assisting the police with...
She had acid on her?
Yeah, I mean, so it's premeditated. So I come to your house at 1 a.m., drive me home. So I confirm. So indeed, you are broken up with me. No. Have you broken up with me?
No, the way you're doing your eyes, it's like you have experience in this particular aspect of the story.
No, Koku is handsome.
The way he has made this, I said, are you breaking up with me? Are you breaking up with me?
He has had what serious kind of problem with a lot of women try to attack.
Oh my word, what is this?
attack him. And so some of them you really have to let go.
He's narrating a thing like it's him. I don't even know.
I thought I was just helping you. I was helping you to talk about
the Trinitarian kind of breaking.
Right?
1, 2, 3.
Yes, you confirm first. Yes, you must confirm.
That is the story. It's not me.
No, the way you've done your eyes. Are you really breaking up with me? What are all these things? What is the dramatization for? So that's what happens. You have CCTV in the car. You can tell. Okay, tell us. What happened after that?
Nothing happened after that.
So the lady came with the acid in her mouth.
Yes, according to the story.
And she oh no, the lady no try. And she
fled to a neighboring country that's not specified here.
I really hope the guy is not disfigured because these things actually...
Nobody could disfigure
you. Maim you.
It could maim you. It bends through your flesh.
Yeah.
This is not something to do. Oh my God. See, it goes all the way back to family raising people, preparing the next generation.
True.
Because when you don't have emotionally mature people, when you don't have people who are in control of their emotions, they don't know how to take losses.
That's right.
A man has broken up with you. And so what? Biadela, have you not gotten broken up before?
Do you expect her to answer it behind the scene?
No, she might not. She just nod, yes or no. You've never had broken heart before. When you're honest, who's I going?
I think broken heart, everybody has experienced that before.
Coco has 4 broken hearts. 4.
But couldn't you see the way she made the eyes?
Are you breaking it with
I
me?
can't imagine this story just happened to be around me all of a sudden. A breakup.
Actually,
I've been pushed on me.
There was a time I got my heart broken.
Hey,
don't tell us.
Hey.
I was just about to finish my first degree.
No.
Somebody's country. The lady had broken up with me for some stupid reason that he said that I am too holy. How can you break up with somebody because he's too holy? And we were just even from our pastors.
That's her point. That's her point, Rep. Why are you from the pastor's place? Why are you not from the restaurant? Why are you not from the cafe? Why are you not from the beach? Why are you from the pastor's office?
But the Bible said there's time for everything. We went there to discuss because I didn't want any hanky-panky relationship.
Okay.
I had a girlfriend in
So what happened to the beach, actually? What happened to the restaurant, other locations? Why the pastor's office?
You live in Asia. You go to there all the time. So it wasn't a big deal.
Hi.
It was, I have gone to my pastor, 2 of us were in the same church, went there and say, okay, I don't like some of these relationships. Now let's begin to think of getting married.
Okay.
So we agreed everything. You really want yes, I really want yes. Okay, now let's begin to think. It can take us even a year.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. But it is always important. I do not like entering into relationship for relationship's sake.
Yeah. Right.
We enter into a relationship so that we are preparing getting married.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. And so we went there, and in the same evening, he sent me a text message to break me up. And at that time,
to break you up?
Yeah, and it broke me to pieces. And it was I think a week after that one, we were having a graduation. And in the graduation, I came to find out that my school, my documents that they're supposed to do from the Philippines government, they have not done. So I've overstayed. And another problem. If I tell you, this woman, what is he talking about?
How did you deal with it quickly before we go?
I decided to fast and pray. And
you are too holy, sir. You are too holy.
But what do I do?
You fasted and prayed.
Yeah.
On top of the heartbreak,
I fasted
the way
and prayed.
I'll order 1 crate of Coca-Cola. It will be a small bougie fiesta in the house.
I will be walking on and in Asia, it's so funny that because you are black among so many different colors.
Right.
So anytime you are walking, people are just watching you.
Yeah.
And so they will see me, and they will say, hey man, are you okay? And in the Philippines, when they say, are you okay? Meaning say, are you fine? And so the lady, she didn't do it. I'm just hoping that the acid was on the leg or the hand or maybe the back. But if it's the face or the property in between his legs, then he has really damaged the guy. Seriously.
Anyways, there's going to be a lot of conversation on some of these things, and that's what we are here for, to make sure that we build emotional intelligence, mental fortitude, so that once you are faced with some of these things, it doesn't spill over into this, because you, the lady, are also in trouble now.
Yeah, you've changed his life, you've changed your life.
Your life as well. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll still one conversation at a time. That's what we believe in. A big thanks to Dr. Justice Apiakubi, is a development expert, and also the Dean for Dominion Theological Seminary. He did well to join us amidst the heavy traffic jam. And of course, forgive me, Pastor Bernard Adi, who is a forensic scientist, and of course, who works with the Ghana Armed Forces, of course, here, Next Generation Action Chapel International as well. We thank you.
We thank you
very, very much.
We thank you.
Right, coming up, it's the health conversation. There's also sports coming up, right? Sports, we'll share some updates with you. There's more. Stay with us.